Hello everybody, welcome to Spectrum Fusion Staff Picks. I'm your host, Karl Barth. I think that those of us on the autism spectrum, myself included, are forever grateful for the fact that YouTube has birthed a brand new genre of video, the long-form video essay. Oh yeah, we're talking deep dives today. Those of us who grew up with the internet find it difficult to fathom a time when you weren't able to research an extremely niche topic and find an hour-plus long video on it. Enter Tor's Cabinet of Curiosities. Run by one Tor Parsons, yes, his name actually is Tor, believe it or not, the channel delves into obscure history across all time periods, and I really do mean all, like from literal ancient history all the way up until internet trends in the past few years. A large part of the channel's appeal is just how weird and wacky it can be. To give you an idea, here are some choice episode titles. The African Pygmy Chief from New Jersey. Why aren't there locust plagues anymore? The Lost Holocaust movie made by a slapstick comedian. And the 6th Dalai Lama was such a playboy, 3 different countries invaded to try and stop him. Yes, those are all real video titles of his, and none of them are clickbait. All of them are 100% true if you actually click on the video and watch it. And that is only the tip of the iceberg. It only gets weirder from there. Another thing about the channel that I find charming is the presentation of it, not just the stories themselves. So it's worth noting that Tor is on the autism spectrum himself, and it shows not just in how thoroughly researched and utterly detailed the videos are, but just the fact that he's kinda wacky and eccentric and isn't afraid to let it show in his videos. Like, by this point, I've probably included a few clips from his videos, and I'm sure by now you've seen his sorta lo-fi setup. And in addition to that, his quote-unquote co-hosts are a plastic durian with a face named Jollibee, a Victorian-era doll named Thimble, and a Lovecraftian nightmare creature made into a cute stuffed animal named Sluds the Shoggoth. So yeah, if you're a weirdo, an outsider, a freak, like I kind of consider myself to be, this is probably a channel you would enjoy, I would say. Now, if you're looking for something a little bit less niche, but still pretty friggin' niche, all things considered, you might enjoy the channel The Bad Movie Bible, which, as one might expect, is a channel dedicated to talking about so bad they're good type movies. It is run by a man named Rob Hill, who has the absolute most, like, deadpan British sense of humor ever, and I love it so much. The channel's flagship series is something called Borrowing Blockbusters, which is about the surprisingly rich topic of mockbusters, which, as the name kind of implies, are cheap, low-budget knockoffs of mainstream blockbuster movies. And there are various subgenres, and Rob has some very long, very detailed videos dedicated to them. Certain subgenres include Maxploitation, which are Mad Max knockoffs, Jawsploitation, which are, hey, take a wild guess, Jaws knockoffs, and there are knockoffs of movies like The Terminator, like Conan the Barbarian, like RoboCop, and basically any genre blockbuster you can think of has its own slew of cheap knockoffs. And in addition to that, he also kind of just does like highlighting good, bad movies just kind of in general, even outside of that series. So if that sounds fun, definitely check it out. On a similar note, there's a channel also called Good Bad or Bad Bad, which is a somewhat similar concept, still talking about good, bad movies. But this one takes a bit more of a podcast style approach. Like, it's these two guys, Brian Shilligo and Kyle Hinton, who have a long-form, unscripted discussion about, each episode is about one movie in particular, so not genre deep dives this time. And the whole time, essentially they try to answer the question that is the channel's namesake. Is this movie good bad or bad bad? I.e., is it so bad it's good, or is it just plain bad? And if podcasts aren't your thing, it's not literally a podcast. Like, there is also a strong visual element to it. Like, they show movie clips. The editing is often very visual appealing. Like, this is not a boring channel at all. Like, if you're severely ADHD and need constant stimulation, that shouldn't be a problem. And yeah, overall, they're just two really funny guys. Not as heady or intellectual as some other channels, but still a whole ton of fun. If you're in the mood to laugh at a bad movie or laugh at people laughing at a bad movie, definitely give that one a try. Now, if music is more your thing, there's a channel called Trash Theory that I would check out. This is a channel that includes deep dives into certain artists, genres, albums, even individual songs. And he often talks about the influences and the process behind making these songs and forming these bands and the recording of these albums and stuff you might not have initially thought of, or relatively obscure facts that not a lot of people know. He also sometimes highlights artists and songs that I had never even heard of, and I'm somebody who listens to a lot of music. Like, you can tell he really, really knows his stuff. And the flagship show on that channel is something called New British Canon, which is essentially an attempt to create I guess you could say, a list of the best in, or at the very least, the most important figures in modern British music. And that includes a lot of artists who actually aren't that well known outside of the UK, but that are influential nonetheless, and that probably a lot of Americans and just other non-Brits probably should know, even if they don't. And outside of British music, like, he talks about all kinds of different stuff. Like, he has a video on the Spice Girls, Phil Collins, and also like the Pixies, and you know, the Prodigy. Like, everything from the most bubblegum of bubblegum pop to like the harshest of like alternative metal. It's really insane and really cool. And if you're at all into music, I would definitely check it out. Okay, thank you all for watching Spectrum Fusion Staff Picks. These have been my recommendations for YouTube channels. Definitely check them out if that sounds like what you're into. Definitely support independent content creators. This has been Spectrum Fusion Staff Picks. Like I said, my name is Karl Barth. See you later.